thank you for the extraordinarily constructive way in which you're contributing not just to my team as a member of the Labor government, but to your local community in Melbourne, but also to the wider political discourse in Australia, promoting harmony and social inclusion, regardless of people's faith, regardless of who people are, regardless of their identity. You are someone who has been an absolute champion. Now, I want all Australians, regardless of their race or religion, to feel safe and at home here in Australia. That is the great multicultural society that we are bringing here. And I note here at this Jewish Museum, it promotes support for anti-discrimination, whether it be not just against Jewish people, but even on the basis of people's sexuality as well. It is important that we combat discrimination in all of its forms. We have seen, since October 7 last year, a significant rise in anti-Semitism in Australia. And that is why the government has made the decision to appoint a special envoy on anti-Semitism. And I'm very pleased that Gillian Segal has agreed to take up that role. Gillian has wide experience across our nation, but in particular as a proud member of the Sydney Jewish community, and is someone who will bring that experience she has in the business community, serving on boards, engaging with government as well as with the community to this role. It's important that as part of those ongoing efforts to promote social cohesion, that Gillian will advise myself and the Immigration and Multicultural Affairs Minister, but also engage with the community about how we can raise education. One of the things that I have found quite shocking is the lack of knowledge and experience about anti-Semitism and about where it leads. This museum, tragically, goes through historically, leading to the Holocaust, of course, exactly where this hatred can lead. I have spoken with members of the Jewish community here in Melbourne, right around Australia, who have not felt safe. Members of the Jewish community whose children are worried about wearing their school uniform in our capital cities. That's not acceptable. Not acceptable, ever, and certainly not in Australia in 2024. The rise of social media has seen people thinking that they can take what are complex issues and convert them into 100 characters and to make statements that they never would face to face. We're not having enough discourse in Australia which is civil. And the sort of slogans which are used have caused great damage and often come from a position of ignorance. What we need to do is to make sure that the conflict that is occurring in the Middle East that has caused a great deal of grief for the Jewish community, for members of the Islamic and Palestinian communities. Australians overwhelmingly do not want conflict brought here. What they want here is harmony and for people to be able to get on with each other. I've often, part of my stump speech at citizenship ceremonies is that Australia can be a microcosm for the world. In my community in Marrickville, you have people of, and I see some of my constituents here, Uri here. I don't know if you're still a constituent, but you know, people of Jewish, Islamic, Greek Orthodox, Hindus, Buddhists, all living side by side, enriched by our diversity, benefiting from the culture, the language, the food, the dancing, the music, the celebration of what we have built here in Australia. What's clear is that we can't take that for granted. What's clear is that we continue to reinforce the need for social harmony. And that's what today's announcement of Gillian is all about. This builds on the other initiatives that we've made, some $90 million to address social cohesion across, including safety issues as well, increased security that's been required. We know that this is necessary, and shortly we'll also be announcing an envoy on Islamophobia that will be important as well, playing a similar role, working with that community to promote social cohesion. I'm very proud to be the Prime Minister of Australia. We are the best country on earth, but we need to continue to reinforce what are our greatest attributes, and that is respect for each other, respect for diversity, a place where people are valued regardless of their gender, their faith, their race, their sexuality, regardless of who they are. A country where every person feels that they can just declare who they are and not be concerned that somehow that is going to subject them to attack, to comments that are inappropriate, or in some cases, of course, it can lead to violence. I think that what is occurring here needs a stop. When you have the war memorials, for example, desecrated as they were a short time ago, I just shake my head at how that can occur in Australia in 2024. We're a place where, as a democracy, we encourage people to be able to have different views and to discuss these issues respectfully. But that's the key word here, respect. And that's something that I have for Gillian Segal as a person, someone I've got to know, particularly in recent times, as someone who I've admired her work. I'm someone who's worked with all of the communities who make up this great nation for a long period of time. And that's why this is an idea whose time has come. The appointment is for 3 years. We hope that there's not a need to have ongoing work, but it has been a reminder over recent months that we just can't take that respect and social cohesion for granted. We need to nourish it, we need to cherish it, we need to celebrate it, and we need to support it. And that's what this role will do.